The Pyramid Text Decoded, the oldest religious text in the world, 2500 BC. The Pyramid Text of Queen Neith, originally translated by James Allen. Daughter of Pepi I, sister of Marin Ra, and wife of Pepi II, Neith was the first of three queens buried beneath subsidiary pyramids around the pyramid of Pepi II. The substructure of her tomb and those of the other two queens was inscribed with pyramid text, as in the King's Pyramid. The walls in the pyramids of Ibhut II and Wejepni have been reduced to a number of fragments, but those of Neith's tomb have survived, largely intact. The corpus of her pyramid text, in fact, is second only to that of Unas in its state of preservation. In place of the burial chamber and antechamber, it has only a single room, rectangular in shape, and lying beneath the apex of the pyramid, with the sarcophagus in its west end. The roof of this chamber is flat rather than peaked, so the end walls, west and east, have no gables. A door in the middle of the east wall marks the entrance to the serdab, and another at the east end of the north wall opens onto the corridor leading out of the tomb. The innermost south section of the corridor is level, originally sealed at its north end by portcullis blocks, beyond which the corridor ascends at an angle to the exit. There is no vestibule. Neith's substructure is inscribed with pyramid text on the walls of the chamber and the innermost section of the corridor, and the same seems to have been true of the tombs of Ibhut II and Wejepni. The absence of a separate antechamber made necessary an adjustment in the layout of these texts from that of the King's Pyramids. In Neith's tomb, the only one of the three for which the full layout is known, the west and north walls and part of the south wall correspond to the same walls in the king's burial chambers, with the same series of texts inscribed on each, spells commending the queen's body to Nut, west wall, and west end of the north and south walls, the offering and insignia rituals, north wall, east end, and the resurrection ritual, south wall. The south wall is divided into two registers, with the upper devoted to the resurrection ritual and the lower to a series of spells found in various locations in the king's tombs, primarily in the passage between the burial chamber and antechamber, or in the antechamber itself. This section would therefore seem to correspond to the passage and antechamber. The east wall is also divided into two registers. The lower of these holds the conclusion of the resurrection ritual as on the east wall in the burial chambers of Unas, Marin Ra, and Pepi II. The upper register is inscribed with text found on the east wall of the antechamber in the king's tombs, and therefore corresponds to that wall. Neith's layout thus compensates for the missing passage and antechamber by assigning text normally found in these rooms to the bottom of the south wall and the top of the east wall. The spells in the corridor, like those in the king's tombs, concern the spirit's entrance into the sky at dawn. The queen's full titulary is inscribed in horizontal bands at the bottom of the west end of the north and south walls, around the sarcophagus and in a line below the other text on the west wall. Spell number 1. Elsewhere in her pyramid text, Neith is addressed or referred to by her single name. As in the king's tombs, Neith's text contain both spells that are addressed to the deceased and those originally meant to be spoken by the spirit itself. A number of the latter preserve the original first person, but most have been personalized for Neith's use by converting the first person to the queen's name or third person pronoun. Most of the converted spells mechanically use masculine pronouns as in the king's text, but a few display the more appropriate feminine forms. The west end of the chamber is inscribed with a series of spells commending the queen's body in the sarcophagus to Neith, spells 2 through 45. These read in a single band from the north wall to the west wall to the south wall, with signs on the north and south walls facing outward toward the east, opposite those on the eastern sections of the two walls. The remainder of the north wall contains the offering and insignia rituals in an arrangement similar to that in Pepi II's pyramid. The rituals open with the presentation of royal regalia and a libation inscribed in a discrete section before the beginning of the east end of the wall proper, spells 46 through 56. The latter is divided into two sections, middle and east. The middle section contains the spells of the offering ritual, spells 57 through 198, arranged in 4 registers as in other pyramids. The insignia ritual follows in a 5th register with its final spells inscribed at the end of the 4th register, spells 199 through 221. The east end of the wall, divided into 4 registers, contains the conclusion of both rituals, spells 222 through 227. Neith's resurrection ritual occupies the upper register of the east end of the chamber's south wall and the lower register of the east wall. Spell 238 is divided between the two walls. The ritual contains the 12 spells found in Unas' pyramid, spells 228 through 239, and text from the extended ritual used in later pyramids, spells 240 through 244. The lower register of the east end of the south wall is inscribed with a sequence of 10 spells for the spirit's passage through the Akhet, spells 245 through 249. The series opens and closes with spell 245. This appears on the antechamber's east wall in the pyramid of Merin Ray and the north wall of the same room in Pepi II's pyramid, and thus spans symbolically the entire room. All 10 spells are addressed to the spirit to encourage it to proceed from the Duat through the Akhet. In the upper register of the east wall are texts for promoting and protecting the spirit's rebirth at the end of the Akhet, spells 250 through 270. These are largely the same as those found on the east wall of the antechamber in other pyramids, though Neith's editor has revised many of the spells from the series for protection from inimical beings. The text on the west and east walls of the corridor, spells 271 through 281, are designed to facilitate the spirit's entrance into the sky and the company of the gods. These were all originally in the first person, including 2 meant to be spoken to the deceased by the chief officiant at the funeral, in the role of Horus, spells 278 through 279, and Neith's copy retains the original first person in most of them. Both walls end with addresses to the doorkeeper at the entrance to the sky. Spells for entering the womb of Neith, chamber, west end, the Queen's titulary. Member of the elite, King's wife and King's daughter, great of ornament and great of blessing, Neith. King's wife, whom he desired, she who sees Horus and Seth, Neith. Member of the elite, King's wife whom he desired, Neith. King's daughter, great of ornament and great of blessing, she who sees Horus and Seth, Neith. Member of the elite, King's wife, whom he desired, Neith. Senior King's daughter of his body, Neith. She who sees Horus and Seth, great of ornament and great of blessing, Neith. Horus's acquaintance, Neith. Horus's companion, Horus's his follower. Consort of the one whom the two ladies desired, Neith. King's wife, whom he desired, Neith. Member of the elite, King's wife and King's daughter, great of ornament and great of blessing, Neith. King's wife, whom he desired, she who sees Horus and Seth, Neith. Member of the elite, King's wife, whom he desired, Neith. King's daughter, great of ornament and great of blessing, she who sees Horus and Seth, Neith. Ascending to the sky. Recitation. Neith has ascended as a great one and landed as a falcon. The face of Neith is the quail of the dilapidated one. She will split up the isles and delimit the isles' borders, and the gods' two countrysides will each give arms to her. Recitation. Neith is a young man who has come from the sun. Neith has come from between the dual Ennead's thighs. She has been conceived by Sekhmet. This Neith has been given birth by Shesmetet. Neith is a falcon who has come with Horus's eye, which is the Uraeus that come forth as a falcon that came forth as Horus's eye. This Neith has flown up and landed on the Evolver's brow, in the prow of the boat that is in Neith. Invoking the gods, the Necharu. Recitation. Neith is the great one who came from Geb's brow. Ox is open in the door, make a path for the great one of Geb. Recitation. Neith is Atum's son, the second of perfect of Ma'at. Neith has come climbing to the upper house, to the Ennead's brow. Neith has come to you three gods, the great ones defenders, who stand in the junction of the two lands. She is Shu's third. Recitation. Neith does not pluck the high one from his place. Neith is the fourth of those four Necharu who come from Geb's brow. Recitation. Neith has gone down at the sight of the lost one. She is your fifth, you stars who touch Orion. Recitation. Neith has come as your sixth, you imperishable stars who makes the beetles and all. Recitation. Neith is the one who releases Osiris's pain. Ma'at atop the seventh of Ma'at. Recitation. Sun. Neith has negated crookedness for the Lord of the Odai. Neith is the eighth of them. Recitation. Neith will shine by day as one who removes transgression and sets up Ma'at behind the sun, who shines fully every day for the Lord, for the one in the Akhet of the sky, and opens the upper gates of Neith. Recitation. Great one of Atum, son of a great one of Atum. Neith is a star who belongs to the sky among the gods. Your mother will tell you, experience one, that Neith is the one who has wept for you. Neith is the one who has mourned you. Recitation. Suckling, you should give a document concerning Neith, for she is coming. Being welcomed by the Necharu. Recitation. How beautiful to look, says Isis. How satisfying to gaze, says Nephthys. At Father, at Neith, as she goes forth to the sky among the stars, among the imperishable stars. His wrath atop him, his ferocity at his side, his magic at his feet. This Neith shall go thereby to her mother Neith, and Neith shall ascend on her in her identity of the latter. She will get the gods who belong to the sky for this Neith, and join together the gods who belong to the earth for this Neith, that this Neith might exist with them, and that this Neith might go on their arms. She shall get for her the boss of Pe, and they will join together for her the boss of Nekhen. This Neith is now complete. Geb is the one who argued forward with Atum, for it is what was done for him. The marshes of reeds, the Horus Mounds, and the Seth Mounds are for this Neith, complete. Geb is the one who argued forward with Atum, for it is what was done for him. So he has come against you and said that he would kill you, but he will not kill you. You are the one who will kill him, and establish yourself against him as the most established of all the wild bulls. Recitation 4 times. So, be permanent, 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 be permanent. Sensing recitation. Osiris Neith, accept Horus's eye. Provide yourself with it. Horus has sensed himself with his eye. Ho, Neith, sense yourself with Horus's eye. Cleanse yourself with Horus's eye. Provide yourself with Heru's eye, and it will provide you as a neter to your opponent forever. The offering and insignia rituals. Chamber, north wall, east end. Presentation of royal regalia and libation. Recitation. Heru has now gilded his eye's surface. Recitation. Ho, Father Aser, Neith, I will fix for you Heru's eye in your head. Recitation. Heru and Osiris Neith, accept Heru's eye to your face. Ho, Aser, Neith, accept Heru's one eye and see with it, the one of his body, and be measured through it. It shall lead you in the path. You shall let your throat breathe through it, and it will endure for you with you. Neith, wear it, and it will give life to your forehead. Oh, Neith, provide yourself with it, and it will make you a god. Recitation. Oser Neith, the pupils in Heru's eyes have also been set for you in your head. Neith, they have been set on you. Osiris Neith, they will extend protection over you. They will be with you. Osiris Neith, as your 2 Kas, with their aegis around you, and they will lead you. Recitation. Oser Neith, these are Heru's 2 eyes, which you should give to either side of your head. Neith, they will become your 2 Kas for you. Osiris Neith, they will be atop you as the 2 great of magic crowns. Neith, elevate them on you as the 2 great of magic crown. Recitation. Osiris Neith, accept your eye from which you were distant, and its magic will be great in opposition. Recitation. Osiris Neith, accept Horus's eye, the great of magic eye, and see with it. The Uraeus, the cobra, the dual Uraei, the great of magic Uraeus. Recitation. Father, accept the eye and see with it. Your eye has been parted that you may see with it. Recitation. Oser Neith, accept Horus's eye which Seth hid, the hidden vulture, which he joined, the joined vulture. It shall spread its jedim in him, the spread vulture. It shall not fear, the fear vulture, the Nile Valley god vulture. Recitation. Oser Neith, accept Heru's eye, of which you said, its magic is greater than mine. Oser Neith, accept Heru's eye, great of magic, the great of magic vulture. Recitation. Osiris Neith, accept Horus's eye, his sound one, acitula, libation. Recitation. Tahuti, go, acquire the opponent of this Neith for Oser, libation, incense on the fire, cleansing the mouth with salt water, the mouth opening ritual. Recitation. Ho, Oser Neith, let me part your mouth for you. Ho, Osiris Neith, I have parted your mouth for you. An end god of Delta God's metal. Neith, accept Heru's eye which went away. Salt, I've gotten it for you that I might put it in your mouth. Delta salt, give cool water, take around. Recitation. Here are Heru's two eyes, white and black, acquire them. A white quartzite jar, the right eye, to your countenance that they might brighten your face. A black quartzite jar, the left eye, the mouth opening meal. A fresh bread loaf, parting each side. Recitation 4 times for your ka. A king given offering for Neith. 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 Part each side of the bread. A king giving offering for the ka of Neith. A king giving offering for the ka of Neith. A king giving offering to the ka of Neith. A king giving offering for the ka of Neith. Take to his mouth. Oser Neith, accept Heru's eye, a loaf of bread, your bread loaf, and eat, presenting the offering. Presentation of the sword and dagger. Recitation. Oser Neith, accept Heru's eye on which Seth calculated the sword. Oser Neith, accept Heru's eye, half of which he saw in Seth's hand, the dagger. Oser Neith, don't let your face be downcast, place it in your arm, and they will be hacked to pieces for you. Oser Neith, accept the waters that are in Heru's eye. Hold Neith, fill your hand with the Heru staff. Provide yourself with the Heru staff, and it will provide you as a god. You should not let loose of it. Beware that you not let loose of it. Oser Neith, accept Seth's finger, which causes Heru's white eye to see, the killing staff. Recitation. Oser Neith, accept Heru's eye, which white is the tip of Seth's finger, the electrum mace. Oser Neith, be alive, the Ankh. Oser Neith, accept Heru's eye, which dangled from his children's arm, the flail. Oser Neith, accept the arm of Nebuchadnezzar. Prevent her from using it against them, the crook. Recitation. I am Geb. Tahuti get him. That one spread out yonder. That one has been spread out. And this one stands up. The opponent of this Neith has been spread out. And this Neith stands up. The bow spreader. I have gotten Horus's 2 eyes from the place where they fell. Look, they are given to you. He has put them down. Oser Neith, I have gotten Heru's 2 eyes. That which spreads out Seth's heart has gotten. That which spreads out Seth's heart has been given to you. I have set them for you. Merge them to yourself. Seize them for yourself. Oser Neith, I have gotten you Heru's 2 eyes, which spread out his heart. Procession with the deceased statue. Recitation. You are the eldest and senior son of Geb, his firstborn. The Ennead has given you your opponent under you, for he said, "Behold the one against me in your identity of Asar Neith. Heru has made your magic great in your identity of great of magic. You are the great god. Heru has carried you in the Sektek boat, the Seker boat, bearing you as Sokar. He is a son who bears his father. You are in control of the Nile Valley through this Horus, through whom you exercise control. You are in control of the Delta through this Heru, through whom you exercise control. You shall exercise control and defend your body from your opponent. Ho, Aser Neith, you are the soul controlling nature. Heru has given you as children that they might bear you. Control them, bring them to you. There is none of them who will turn back. Geb has given you all the Necharu of the Nile Valley and Delta, that they might bear you and you might control them. They are your brothers, in their identity of the dual flagpole shrines. Heru has allotted them to you united when you encircle all the Necharu in the circle of your arms and their lands and all their things as well. They will escort you in your strength. Ho, Aser Neith, you are the great god, elder and round, as he who surrounds the external isles. You have been tended. Be alive, Ankh, and move about every day. There is nothing of you that could be disturbed. You are the Ka of all the Necharu. Heru has tended you, and you have evolved as his Ka's evolution. Ho, Aser Neith, you are the most controlling nature of all the Necharu. The eye has come forth in your head as the one of the Nile Valley, for Heru has placed his eye in your front as the Nile Valley great of magic. The eye has come forth in your head as the one of the Delta, and you have appeared as hereditary king. Heru and Tahuti have become fraternal to you as the hereditary king's two brothers, and you have appeared as dual king, for you have control of all the gods and their Kas as well. Ho, Osiris Neith, you are Geb's son, and you will not die. Control is yours, Osiris Neith. Esteem is yours, Osiris Neith. Ba is yours, Osiris Neith. Life-giving is yours, Osiris Neith. As you have control, you shall repulse your opponents. Aser Neith, become content, for you have been given to Heru. Osiris Neith, become content about it, for you have been made to see with it. Become content, for he has given you your head. The Resurrection Ritual Chamber, South Wall, East End, Upper Register and East Wall, Lower Register. Provisioning the Resurrected Spirit, the Basic Ritual, Recitation. Raise yourself, Neith. Your bones have been collected for you. Your limbs have been returned to you. Your water has come from Elephantine, and your natron from the god's palace. Stand at the four of the dual shrines, at the four of the jackal gods, and strike your arm against your opponents that Anpu. When he put you, Neith, at the four of the westerners, the burial place's door has been opened to you. The sarcophagus door has been pulled open to you, and you will find your inundation meeting you. Raise yourself, Neith, to your 1,000 of bread, your 1,000 of beer, your 1,000 of cattle, your 1,000 of fowl, your 1,000 of ointment, your 1,000 of clothing, and your 1,000 of every kind of linen, which have come forth to you from this Neith's house, as your inheritance. You shall lead the perfect ones and govern the westerners, for you are an Ankh of great strength, who lands for yourself at the causeway to every place you wish to be. Neith, you shall exercise control there, for the god has commanded that you save yourself from the claim of your opponent. For you are the one Aser has placed on his throne, that you might lead the westerners and become Ankh at the fore of the gods. Ho, Neith, live, live, Unk, be alive. Be alive in this identity that is with the gods, apparent as Parter, as the ram at the fore of the living, as the controlling one at the fore of the ox. This Neith is thought. Gather yourselves, you gods, in the white palace, such as this Neith, who is with you, Osiris. The ram-bolted gates that bar Libya have been opened to you. Your metal baton is in your hand, and you shall number those of the night. Direct the 9 bowls, and receive the imperishable star's arm. The great one shall gather to you, and the watchers shall wait for you as Horus who tends his father. Ho, Neith, elder one who sleeps, great one who is asleep. The elder one has spent the night abed. Great praise toward you, the great scent toward you. Pleasant to your nose is the scent of the firstborn's thing. Ho, Neith, your bones have been assembled for you, your limbs gathered for you, your teeth bequeathed to you, and you have received your heart for your body. The earth on your flesh has been cleared away. You have received this your cleansing, and these your 4 washing jars that have been filled from the god's canal. And you have been cleaned with them as a god, that you might go forth from it as the sun's eye. You have appeared at their fore as Geb at the fore of the Ennead's body, a Heliopolitan governing the gods, governing the session of the living God. For you have acquired the crown as a sole star, who wipes out opponents. Behold the manner of your going, Neith, which Horus described to his father Osir. Ho, Neith, come too, that I may describe to you this manner of your going, that you may become an ox through it, become great through it, become esteemed through it, become Ba through it, and take control through it. Ho, Neith, you have your Ak within you, you have your Ba around you, you have your heart for your body. Your shackles have been severed as Horus and his royal house. Your hobbles loosened as Seth and Takbit, and you have entered into defense, for your father Geb has defended you. He who will reject you will not live. He who will call you, one who goes back behind me, that is not your name. Ho, Neith, Heru's eye shall endure. Put your hand on your bread. Ho, Neith, endow yourself with this bread like Heru endowed himself with this eye. Here it is, the distinguished identity of the endowed offering. Supply yourself with this bread, like Heru supplying himself with his eye. This, here it is, the distinguished identity of the supplied offering. So, ascend to the sky, amongst the stars in the sky, and those before you shall hide, and those after you shall be afraid of you, because of this, your identity of Heru of the Duat, which your father, Osir, has made for you. This, your identity of the one who strikes them, of the one who spews them out, of the one who wipes them out, and you will strike them, spew them out, and wipe them out at the lake, at the great green. You shall come to stand at the fore of the imperishable stars, and sit on your metal throne, from which the dead are far away, your fingernails hackers of the enclosure of your hunter's hunt. Ho, Neith, behold this which I have done for you. I have taken you away from your impediment and cannot give you to your adversary. I have defended you from your hunter's hunt. Behold, the she-centipede that is on your face, sleepers. The sky's door has been opened to you. The cool water's door has been pulled up, open to you, that you may emerge from it as Parter, the pale crown that is atop your shoulders, that of Tahuti, the knife bearer who emerged from Seth. Tahuti shall strike away obstruction for you by means of what he will do for you. The mooring post shall call you as Aset. The moorer shall summon you as Nebahet. Be apparent on the great causeway, and circulate in the Horus mounds, circulate in the Seth mounds as men at the fore, of the Enios body, for the gateway of thighs forward has been opened to you. Ho Neith, behold this which I have done for you. I have been effective for you. I have not been useless for you, guarding you, for your jar stand and your bread have been made firm. Your bread is at its proper time, and your morning bread is also at its proper time. Your bread, its scent, is with Neith every day. Ho Neith, I know this. I have not ignored the tomb, which is the limit of the vision of him whose identity is distinguished. You should recognize me as the speaker and associate with your predecessor, Oser. Ho Neith, beware of the great lake that leads to the ox and the canal that leads to the dead. Beware of those people of yonder Ba house who are in charge of confrontation in their identity of the textile workers, lest they take your arm to yonder Ba house. It is dangerous. It is painful. Miss it. Avoid it. You should miss it completely and avoid it completely. Go instead to well-informed Sokar's beloved brother, and he will give you the way to the Aken, where the sun's clean places are, and you will find the dual Ennead seated. Then you shall sit with them in it, and eat bread with them in it, and row in the green boat with them in it. The sky will tremble because of you, the earth will shake because of you. The imperishable stars will come to you in obeisance, and the Kaz assigner will take your arm to the reed marsh. You shall sit on your metal throne and render judgment with the dual Ennead. Ho Neith, you have received your head, you have received your teeth, you have your hair. You will open the doors that bar people stable for the course of eternity. Ho Neith, you shall emerge with your face that of the Seth animal and sit at the fore of those older than you. The sky shall become disheveled because of you, the earth shall quake because of you, and the imperishable stars shall be afraid of you. How beautiful to the sight, how satisfying to the hearing is Osiris stands, is in the mouth of your tomb's god's Neith. He of the injured heart and inaccessible places shall open for you the sky's doorway, and pull open for you the cool water's doorway. He shall make you a path that you might emerge on it amongst the gods, alive in your Ba. Ho Neith, you have not really died, but have really come to life amongst them, the imperishable ox. Come flood, supply the outflow that comes from Osiris, that Horus may be cleansed from what his brother Seth has done to him, that Seth may be clean from what his brother Heru has done to him, that this Neith may be clean from everything bad against him, that the Watchers might be clean for Heru when he embraces his father Osiris. He has appeared on the lake, on his throne, and has penetrated the basin with his eye. I have demanded him from Kerti, and cannot give him to Osiris. He will open the gateway that bars, for I have done for him what should be done for him as the sole star that has no equal amongst them the gods. The Watcher shall dance for you, and the Mora shall call to you as Osiris. Raise yourself as men, and fly to the sky, and live with them. You shall grow your wings with your plumage on your head, and your plumage on your upper arms. Bestrew the sky as a star, shining to them as a god, permanent at the fore of the sky as Heru, addressed to the resurrected spirit. Ho Neith, raise yourself on your metal bones and your golden limbs. This body of yours belongs to a god. It cannot molder, it cannot end, it cannot decay. The warmth of your mouth is the breath that comes from Seth's nostrils. The winds of the sky will be ended if the warmth in your mouth is ended. The sky and its flood of stars will end if the warmth in you ends. Your flesh has been born to life, and you shall live more than the stars live in their light. Spells for ascending to the sky. Going toward the sky. Recitation. Geb will laugh. Newt will chuckle before me as I go up to the sky. The sky will shout for me. The earth will shake for me. I have dispelled the storm clouds, yelling at Seth, and those at the sky's limbs shall open the sky's doors. I will stand on Shu with the star's limbs, having been shaded for him with the fan, for cooling the gods' water jars. I will cross the sky like Zewenju, the third companion of Sirius of pure places, having become clean in the Duat's lakes. Lake Strider is making my perfect paths and leading me to the great seat that made the gods, made Heru and begat Tahuti, so that Aset may receive me and Nephthys might beget me. So I will sit on the great seat that made the gods, and the morning gods shall come to me in arousal, and the gods in brotherhood, those of the Akhet shall come to me on their face, and the imperishable stars in obeisance. I will receive the offering slab and manage the god's mouth. I will shoulder the sky with life and support the earth with happiness. The right arm of mine will shoulder the sky with the staff. This left arm of mine will support the earth with happiness, because the abomination of Summoner, the doorkeeper of Osiris, is burying someone without a toll having been paid to him. I will find a fare for myself, and thus receive for myself the air of life. I will inhale happiness and become sated with the gods' offerings. When I have breathed the air of my abundance, the north wind, I will become sated among the gods. So I will become sharp as the great sharp one, and go forward to the force of the dual shrines. I will strike with the baton and manage with the papyrus scepter. I will put my annals among people and love of me among the gods, saying, Speaker, say what is and don't say what isn't. For elision is a god's abomination. Let me be tended and don't report me wrongly. I am your son. I am your heir. Recitation. The sky has been opened. The earth has been opened. The looking waters caverns have been opened. The stretches of Nu have been opened. The sunlight stretches have been loosed by this sole one who is stable every day. Say this before me as I go up to the sky. I shall be anointed with first-class oil and clothed in top linen. I shall sit on that which makes my aunt live, with my back to the back of those gods at the sky's north, the imperishable stars, and I shall not perish. The unpassing ones, and I shall not pass. The unwaning ones, and I shall not wane. I have gone up with the staff from his Ba settlement and descended like a Haran on the pole. I have gone up as one of the great ones and descended into the leaking basins. I have gone up on the ladder with my foot on Orion, and my arm is in elevation. I have grabbed on the thighs for its rope, and my arm has been received at the great place. I shall receive my throne that is in the God's boat